Well, I lived a lot of this, so I don't know how you folks feel after hearing all 6 parts, but I am sad that this has ended. I miss my friend LaDon, and at races even in the 90s, he would come up to me and offer to shoot free of charge for my magazine. And even when I was done with my magazine in the 2000s, he would still offer, and I would politely decline because I really didn't need anything at that time. Folks, you're listening to one of the great ones, and also to Bryan Hallman, another person who offered to do things for me for nothing. And you just don't find that really much anymore in motorsports. 2 great men, and LaDon, you will be missed. Folks, thanks for listening, and enjoy this final part of Confessions of a NASCAR Photographer and the late, great LaDon George.
Some other things we did, or I did with during on the circuit and stuff, I wouldn't have gotten it done any other way. Was we went in California one time and got to meet Guy Fieri, which has a food show on Food Network, Diners, Drives, and Dives, that's on the network. And I mean, he was just like, I don't know, never found one that was really stuck up that much. He's at racetracks or stuff. But anyway, he invited us, some media and some of the photographers, out to his restaurant there. And forget the name, Santa Barbara or wherever the restaurant was. So a bunch of us went out there, and he was going to meet us out there. It's like on a Saturday, I guess. Saturday evening for, come on out, I'll feed y'all. So about 10 of us went out there. Yeah, you know, photographers,
oh, yeah.
Ain't going to pass up a free meal.
Nope.
So, anything free.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we got out there, and he couldn't be there. He had another obligation that he had to go to, but his manager was there and everything, and he took care of us. When I say he took care of us, brought the menu, ordered, well, pretty much it was, he made, we saw the menu, but we didn't order anything. They were going to bring it to us. So it pretty much was everything on the menu. Okay, so they started bringing it to us from appetizers all the way down. You know, after a while we had to say, stop bringing food. We've had enough, you know. And he called while we were there and wanted to know if we had a good time or whatever. But yeah, that was some good food, especially for the price. But then he had that show on TV, and we used to watch it here. And then we figured out, well, a lot of them were in cities we were going to. Okay, so David Griffin, he was shooting with the Scene at the time, and we go out to the tracks, and we'd find out what dinner
Diners, drive-in, and
dives were in that
restaurant.
city. Yeah, so we'd have a list of them before we left, and ended up we went some really nice places, some really so-so places, but I went about 30 of them. David, I think, went about 40 of them.
Yeah.
After whatever. But yeah, David and I we get in town, we'd go to, one night, Friday or Saturday, we'd go to one of those restaurants, and there was like some of them were like in Phoenix a lot of Mexican stuff. You see, you go to a filling station, it's just a gas station, you go inside and here's all this Mexican food, restaurant inside, you know.
Yeah.
And we went to one, it was a Mexican Chinese place, Bandino's, okay? One of the better places. Their list of on the menu is it had everything, Mexican food and Chinese food. You can mix them. They would mix it, okay? And they told us like they had over 1,000 combinations that you could do with that menu. But you had to have the menu done when you went up to the cashier for them, okay? Because they had the menu slips out. and you check what you wanted to mix. It was pretty good stuff. Every time we went to Phoenix, we always went there. But like every time we went to California, Texas, first thing off the plane, we'd go to In-N-Out Burgers. Couldn't beat In-N-Out Burgers, but a lot of people say Five Guys, but I still like In-N-Out. But did that. What else did I mention?
About Jay Leno?
Oh, yeah. Then I had assignment in California out to Burbank when I went to race out there to do a shoot with Jay Leno. Okay. Now that was something else. We went out to his garage, okay, in Burbank, and you see it on Jay Leno. So there's two garages, one here and one here, and to do a car shoot on his cars, and he's just like just as nice, just as pleasant, whatever. We the writer, the guy was seen illustrated. We bought lunch for him. We had pizza for his crew there. He had like 3 guys that worked for him full time on it. So we had pizza at lunchtime, and he just like telling stories and stuff. But neat thing about it was I could shoot any car or motorcycle in there. Well, I couldn't drive them. I couldn't start them driving, but his crew would move them whatever angle I needed.
Yeah.
I don't know how many cars we shot. A lot of them didn't get run, but yeah, that was cool. And then he came in there, and I did a couple shots with him up against a car and stuff.
Yeah.
That was when they were introducing the new Camaro, I think.
Okay.
But now that was, and the thing is, every car in there and every motorcycle was tagged. He could go in there anytime and get any car or motorcycle and get out and drive it.
So he had every one of them registered. And insurance.
And insurance.
Wow.
You know what that would cost?
Yeah.
And he told us, he said, well, I started this because it was cheaper than a mistress. So that's what he always says. It was cheaper than a mistress, And he had the original car, Buick that him and his wife dated in before, everything's restored to a T, some of the cars he's had. But that was a lot of fun,
That's one of those cool things that came along with the job.
Yeah, came along with the job. And I probably got some other stuff that I don't even remember that I did right now. I'll probably remember after you leave, but that was cool. And especially like on Route 66, we'd get together and go to different towns and just have fun.
When was your last race? What was the last race you shot?
Last one I shot was Homestead in 2013. Shot that. It was a pretty good race. I got Menard car on fire. He was the last pit stop. I was shooting out of 4. Coming into pit row, and he caught on fire, came in, stopped at pit row, and they were trying to get him out of the car, and fire people were trying to put out the fire, and the crew went over and everything. There's some pretty good shots.
Is that when the tire blew out?
Yeah, that's when the tire blew out, and then...
Where were you at when the tire blew out?
Right
the
behind,
back of the car?
Right behind the back of the car.
So you heard it?
Oh yeah, I saw it and heard it, So, but that was a pretty good shot. But 13 was my last race, and I was thought about coming back in 14, but they changed plans at the company with Illustrated. The new company, or a new director ever who was in charge of it. See, if you were a staff employee, that company kept all your photos. They had the copyrights to them. If you're a freelancer, like I was, but like I was a contracted freelancer, okay, I had all my rights.
Yeah.
They didn't give me hospitals or anything. At one time, they tried to hire me as far as, this was when Griggs owned it, shoot full time with them, but I had to come to Charlotte.
Yeah.
Then when the other company, they asked me about shooting full time, and then they even tried to work it out with me staying here and being a full time employee, but they said that wouldn't be fair to the employees that were up there.
Okay.
So whatever. So I still refused it, but I was a full time contractor.
Yeah.
So I got everything except the benefits, you know. But yeah, but what they did, they sent Fluharty a letter that all freelancers, they wanted full contact. They wanted all the rights of the freelancers, photographers' rights.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not doing that. And so
That was the only thing we had out of the deal, because we certainly didn't get enough money.
right.
And, you know, owning our own stuff was big for me as well.
Yeah. So that was the way it was, you know. So I had enough. I enjoyed what I did a lot. I enjoyed the people. It was like we said before, it was a family. You know, up there you had a family. And even with a lot of the media, you got along with a lot of the media and stuff. But yeah, like you go away, come back here. And then later on, I'd come back. You get back Monday afternoon or something. You stay Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you fly out Friday morning again. Going Friday, Saturday, Sunday, gone. That was your other family, you know. And Ruthie was my family here, so. But I think she liked it a lot that I didn't stay around all the time. But yeah, and the other thing about this that I illustrated, I think about a lot of the new fans today. They miss the good old days. That's what everybody says, you know.
Yeah.
But when we were there, it was rock and roll. I mean, we enjoyed it. And the only thing was that you were gone a lot of the time, but you kind of got used to that. But yeah, after a while, I stayed in a hotel room like you used to. You know, it gets old. You know, but the main thing I enjoyed was traveling. I got a lot to see of the United States I would not gotten to see if I hadn't done that.
Yeah.
But with this new group, the new fans, the younger fans, I think some of these things like Winston Cup Scene, Winston Cup Illustrated, you can still go, like Illustrated, you still go in line and pick them up from back 80s, 90s, 2000, and see what it was like back then. The drivers, the families, everything, you know. And that's what I think, like, because where do you go and get a book about NASCAR today? Winston Cup.
Yep.
Or Cup, you know, Nextel, whatever they wanted to call it, you know. If they get enough money, they'll let you put your name on there.
That's true.
You know, so other than that, that's about it. I'd probably think of stuff after you leave, but
Were you happy with what you did?
yeah, real happy. Yeah.
Do you still see anybody from those days?
Yeah, some of the photographers I keep in touch with, like Fluharty, Robinson, Chad Fletcher. Mainly when they come to Daytona, some of them call me, and some of them don't ever call. I haven't talked to them since I left the track, you know. But they always ask, how's LaDon doing? And Robinson said, he still has the same phone number. So, so other than that, yeah, I stayed. And usually, like February this year, we had Chad, Fluharty, and Parks. They all came down. We went over to the restaurant and had dinner. Usually we'll do that, or at least Fluharty and I will go have lunch or something when they're down.
Yep.
You know, but yeah, I keep in touch with some of them.
Sounds good. Man, I really appreciate you taking time to do this.
Hey, I got a lot of time to take.
Thank you, LaDon.
Oh, you're welcome. Come back anytime.
Thank you, buddy Bryan, for heading to Florida to do this. Thank you, LaDon, for taking time out of your busy schedule. And I know that your health definitely fought you here and there along the way. And Ruthie, thank you so much for the great care you gave LaDon in all these years. And folks, we thank you for listening to Stock Car Facts. We're going to take a few weeks off, and we'll let you know on social media when we're coming back, because, you know, we all need a little bit of time off for the holidays. And we think you'll enjoy our first guest in 2025. Have a great holiday, and we'll see you next year.